Hello everybody, today we'll create some animations using MatchedGeometryEffect. This is a modifier provided by SwiftUI where you link two views and the transition between them is handled by the system. We will use this to change the state of a button, to present a sheet, and to handle the displacement of a view. The first thing that we're going to do is change this download button. We will remove the shake animation and change it so that we animate the change from download to cancel and from cancel to download. Let's start by making the download button a little bit bigger so that we can, so that the change looks nice. Right now the two buttons are similar in size, so it wouldn't produce a nice effect. So we do this by changing the button. Instead of having a text, we will have an H tag with a spacer. This makes it so that the button stretches the width of the screen. Let's change the background to capsule and add some padding. Now we can add the match geometry effect. So let's see what this has in the completion. So it has an ID, hashable, and a namespace. So how do we create the namespace? That's just an annotation. So we create add namespace private var. Let's call it download button namespace. The other variable we need is an ID. It can be a UUID since it's hashable. Let's copy and paste this match geometry effect to our cancel button. And let's run it. Okay, we see our download button tapped. There was not an animation. Let's see what we can do about this. Okay, so first we're changing the state in the view model. So we should do that with an animation. Let's try it again, let's tap here, and then we have our animation. See how the cancel enlarges to the download and the download shrinks while the cancel fades in as well from the right. We could change some of this. Remember that the system is the one handling the animation, but there is another match geometry effect, which besides having the ID and the namespace, we can also specify properties, the anchor point, and which view is going to be the source of the animation. So let's play around with this other modifier. Step here. Okay, and see the difference? We are animating the side, but now the cancel button is not sliding in from the right. That's because in the properties we specify just dot size. Even though I like the size animation, let's change it to that frame because I did like the sliding animation when we were changing the state of the button. Let's see, tap. Okay, I like it. Moving on to our next effect. Now we want for our login view that when the user taps on the terms and conditions, we display some terms and conditions. So let's create a view here, which is going to be a simple view with a dismiss button and the terms and condition text, which is going to be just a lorem ipsum here. We're not going to actually display terms and conditions. Just as if we are using a sheet presentation, we need to have a variable, a Boolean variable, that will determine if we are showing it or not. If we are showing it, we present the terms detail. Also, when we are presenting the terms detail, we'll hide the lower view. We learned in our previous implementation that we need the with animation closure to animate the match geometry effect. Now that our view is ready, let's add the match geometry effect. Create a namespace variable. This time we will not create an ID. I will show you another way to add the ID. Since it's hashable, we actually don't need a UUID. So our match geometry effect will go to the terms, which is the lower view. For the hashable, well, we can add a string, so it's just terms. And let's make sure that this is the same ID we use in the other modifier. Our namespace, for the properties, we're gonna animate the size and the position. Okay, let's run. Tap here. Nothing happens. Oh, of course, I forgot to add the tap modifier that changes the Boolean value that we use to present the terms and conditions. There we have our presentation. See how it is expanding from the bottom? We could change that with the anchor point, but I'm liking it right now. Let's improve our animation here. You see this X on the top left? Let's make it so that a view on the login view transforms into that close button. Okay, so the view that we're going to transform into that close button will be an SF symbol that I'm adding right now. It will be besides the title on the top right corner, will be an Apple logo. That's not displaying right now. I probably got the name wrong. I'm already using the Apple logo in the canvas, so let's take a look. Oh, it's Apple logo, not just Apple. Okay, there we have our logo, and it's adding match geometry effect. So for the hashable logo, we can add the same namespace as for our previous match geometry effect. There will be no problem as long as the ID is different. And let's add also this match geometry effect to our close button, and let's run and see how it looks. Okay, there's our logo. Let's tap on the terms. Let's see how the logo travels and transforms into the X. Let's do it again. It switches, and the X moves back and becomes that logo. And that was all. As you could see, MatchedGeometryEffect allows us to create very neat animations. Although we cannot control every step of the animation, we can influence some of the properties that are animated by the system. Hope you liked this video. Bye!